Hi, it's Hilary here. Welcome to another Facebook Live. Great to hope you can come and join us, and we'll talk for about 10 or 15 minutes about keto flu today, which is not a nice thing about keto, but luckily usually pretty temporary and short-lived. So come on and join us. Give us a thumbs up or a like or a wave if you're watching in the Facebook group. So, hi Melanie, great to see you. Thanks for coming to join us. We're going to be talking about keto flu today. So hopefully that's a topic that you'll find useful and interesting. So since you're here, I'm going to assume that that's something that you're interested in. So I'm going to talk about what is keto flu, how to cure it, and more importantly, how to minimize it from happening again in the near future. The good news is it is something that once you've got through it, usually doesn't recur, although it can, but doesn't usually. Hi Kathleen, thanks for joining. We're going to be talking about keto flu today, so we'll be here for probably 10 or 15 minutes just having a bit of a chat about that and what it is, how to avoid it, how to minimize it. So it's great to have you here. Please do pop me in some comments. I'm a little bit new to Facebook Live, so I'll do my best to see them and to comment. But if it takes me a minute or two to respond to you, don't worry. I will try and see the comments, and certainly I'll answer them after the Facebook Live. Okay, so first of all, let's just jump right into it. So keto flu, it's a term we often hear about. Keto as one of the negative things about keto, and generally not a lot of fun to begin with, right? So here's the good news. Unlike the real flu, which is obviously caused by viral strains, and unfortunately we've had a lot more experience of viruses recently than any of us wanted. Keto flu is not caused by a virus. It's not a disease. It's not anything to be very worried about. You can't catch it from anyone. You're not at risk of giving it to anybody else either. So that's good. It's just you that's suffering, but it's short-lived, and there's ways to get past it. So your body doesn't need a vaccine against the keto flu, and you also we can get rid of the symptoms pretty rapidly. So keto flu is something that sort of shows the same kind of symptoms as the flu, but it certainly isn't the flu. So what are the common symptoms of keto flu? Well, you get brain fog, or a feeling of not being clear-headed. You're just kind of out of it, not a bit vague. Nausea, so feeling like you're going to puke. To vomit, you can get that feeling. Not a nice feeling. People sometimes get headaches, and also if we mention the other end of the body, you can sometimes get constipation or even diarrhea, which is pretty unpleasant. Sometimes people get a bit dizzy, and also you can get body aches, a bit of muscle soreness. And then the other one that can happen is that you just can't sleep. You get insomnia, and that's just really the worst. When you're lying in bed, you feel exhausted, you don't feel well, and you can't sleep. So none of those are great. Just give me a comment, say yes or something like that in the comments if you've ever experienced keto flu. Yeah, so it really sounds like the flu, but it isn't the flu. However, just like the real flu, there are things that you can do to minimize or curb the severity of these symptoms, and they can really help you get over it quickly. And also, if you start these things before you go keto, it can help avoid the keto flu happening in the first place. So isn't that great news? So one of the things with the keto flu is that you probably don't feel like doing any exercise at all. You just want to lie down, get some rest. But actually the best thing to do is the opposite, is actually to get moving. Get up, go out, go for a walk, and just get your body moving, and that will actually really help your system. So it's a little bit counterintuitive, isn't what you would naturally do, but if you can just get yourself up off the couch, step outside the door, say, I'm going out for just 5 minutes. Once you've stepped out the door, you go, I'm only going to go for 5 minutes, but once you're out, I bet you'll want to go for a bit longer. So, a nice 30-minute walk with a bit of fresh air, that will really, really help and should help with muscle soreness and, help clear some of that brain fog and get you clear-headed again. So the other thing to do is to get into ketosis faster, because that will really help your symptoms to subside, to go much more quickly. So one of the things to do with that is just cut out the snacks and really focus on having longer periods between your meals, because that will really help your body to start to produce ketones. And then the faster your body gets into ketosis, the faster you're going to get over those keto flu symptoms. The other thing that's really important, so you want to move more, you want to avoid snacking and increase the time difference, the time lag between your meals. But just like the real flu, you also want to keep hydrated, but you need to focus on what you drink, not just anything is good. So no juice, no sugar-based drinks, and ideally nothing with artificial sweeteners. Stick to water. Okay, water's refreshing, quenches your thirst, and it doesn't have any potential negative effects that will affect if you're looking to lose weight. It won't impact on your weight loss agenda. Certainly juice drinks and even diet drinks with artificial sweetener, they can impact, or they will impact on your weight loss progress. So water is good. However, water on its own, if you've got keto flu, is really helpful, but there's something you can do that's even better. And that's to increase your micronutrient mineral supplements. Now that sounds really, really fancy. It's actually pretty simple. So micronutrient means the small components of your nutrition. So our big components are our fats, our proteins, and our very small amount of carbohydrates in keto. The micronutrients are the vitamins and the minerals, the salts that we need. So one of the reasons that you're feeling sick to begin with is because your body is getting used to a new regime. It's up to now been primarily burning carbohydrates as its fuel source, and what it's doing is it's transitioning over into burning the fat as a fuel. So as it burns up the carbohydrates that are sort of left over in your body as you transition to keto, what happens is that you have water loss, and with that water loss comes the loss of the salts that are in the water, and your body is literally undergoing a physical transformation process. And it's our bodies are wonderful things, and they're making all sorts of helpful adjustments. But one of the things that happens is, when we get rid of that water through our pee, we also lose some of the helpful minerals like the sodium, the potassium, the magnesium, and the calcium, which are all salts. And these are things that your body needs in order to make sure that your normal functions in your body work, like your muscle contraction, regulating your hormones, making sure your blood is balanced for its pH, for its acidity and alkalinity, and and the other biomagical things that our body does to make our bodies just an incredible thing. So if you get rid of too much of that stuff, that kind of messes up your balance inside your body. So what we need is to keep that stuff in our system, and if you do have the keto flu, is to get it back into our system. Does that all make sense? Just give me a comment if that's all making sense so far. If you've got any comments, please do let me know. So let's just talk now about the ways to get electrolytes, to get these minerals back into your system. So the first way, they're all pretty simple. The first one is just to add a salt to your diet or drink. So just put a bit of extra salt on your meat and your veggies that you're eating, and that will help. Sometimes people, if they have a black coffee, just put a pinch of salt in your coffee. That's is a good way just to bring your electrolytes back into balance. It's better if you can to have a sort of a natural salt, so something like a Himalayan salt is good. Here in Australia we have something called the Murray River salt, which is naturally harvested from our largest river, and that's really helpful. So if you have something like that in your region, go for that. So a natural salt, not a processed salt, if you can. The next way is to drink bone broth. So that's and in fact recently I put a Facebook post up about how to make bone broth, which quite a few people commented on. So just have a search in the search bar for broth, and that post will come up for you. And that's just a bone broth made with either chicken bones or beef bones. If you're trying to lose weight, then generally chicken broth is better. It's just a bit lower calorie. They're both delicious and both will do this. But what you're doing with making bone broth is that you're taking the minerals out of the bones. It goes into the liquid broth that you make, and then you're drinking those minerals and putting them back in your body. If you're a vegetarian, you can drink vegetable broth as well. That's very good. It will do the trick, but bone broth will do it better because of the minerals that are in the animal bones. And so that's a really effective way, but it does require you to do a bit of cooking. There are some commercial broths that you can get. Just watch that some of them have preservatives, and I've tried a few, and frankly I don't particularly like the taste. I much prefer the taste of the ones that I make at home, and I just make it in my Instant Pot, or you can just make it on the stove. But that's two ways that you can do it. One is add salt to your diet or drink. Secondly, drink broth. And let's just talk about the third way, which is to drink electrolytes that you can buy. Now, I'm generally a fan of making things yourself, but I understand not everybody is a cook, and also it's not always convenient. Sometimes you're out and about, perhaps you're at work, and it's not possible, to have a pot of broth or take a thermos of broth or anything with you. So one of the things that you can do is take electrolyte supplements. There is one that I recommend. I actually don't have the link with me right now, but if you're interested, just put me in the comments, and I'll post the link a little bit later as to what those supplements are. But they're basically the same thing. They just enable you to put your electrolytes back into your body. They can come in a variety of flavors, so something that you might like and might prefer. So really, if we talk about the keto flu, the best way is to have a game plan to begin with. So before you start keto, think about that and put those measures in from the start. Maybe even start doing, the extra salt and the bone broth or the electrolytes just before you, a day or two before you start keto, so that you've kind of worked out what your plan is. But then certainly do that in your first few days to weeks of keto. I still drink bone broth. I'm well past any risk of keto flu, but I just really enjoy having my cup of broth, just one cup of broth in the morning. You can drink as many as you like. I do have a few grams of carbs in it, but not very much. And certainly if you buy a commercial product, great, Rita, I'll put that in later for you. So you can get started with keto without doing any of these little extras. But if you just take a little bit more time to plan and think about what you're going to do about your regimen, just makes it a little bit more pleasant and a little bit easier, so that when you come into keto, you avoid all of that issue around the keto flu, and it'll just be a lot more pleasant, and you'll have a better go of it with your transition into keto. So that's all I really wanted to come in and have a chat with you about today. Just wanted to give you some suggestions for making sure that this keto experience is an easy and pleasant experience, and it completely can be. It really doesn't need to be hard, just with a little bit of planning and a few small extras in your life. So look, it's wonderful to have chatted. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let me know in the comments how you've liked this this video. As I said, I'm a little bit new to Facebook Live, so I'm not sure that I'm always seeing all the comments. I'll get better at it with time. But I just wanted to thank you so much for coming on. It's been just lovely. Hope that's been helpful. Let me know in the comments what you think, and we'll speak to you again soon. Bye.